Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are gonna do my day-to-day makeup routine, just my full face. I'm gonna do a second video on a particular eye look that people keep asking me to do. So let's start this video, and thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and then of course if you'd like to follow me on social media or check out my website, those are always linked down in the description bar. So with that said, let's get going. Alright, so this is my face. I've already moisturized, put my eye cream, serums, all that good stuff on. As you can see, I do have some acne, scars. My dark circles aren't too bad today, and I'm not too puffy with my allergies. So I'm going to start with this guy here, which is the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer in Custard. I dot a little bit under my eyes. Some people like to use a brush. If I'm going to use a brush, I usually just use my Bare Minerals Shape Diffuse Eye. I like this brush because it kind of has like the diffusing tip that works really well. So I'm going to kind of squeak myself up in here so I can actually see. I do put my concealer on top of my eyelid. I don't have tons of discoloration, but it just gives me a nice finish. Take this concealer and keep buffing it and blend it out to my desired consistency under my eye. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually going in a circle when I do this, not pulling or tugging against the skin. Alright, so that is it for concealer. I don't use a whole ton of concealer. I don't normally conceal the rest of my face unless I'm wearing liquid makeup, which I do not wear liquid makeup every day. All right, moving on. So then I like to use my Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil SPF 25. I take the Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. I dump it into the cap here like so. Kind of warm it up, keep circulating it in the cap, buffing it onto my face. I go over the eyes, all around my entire face. If I don't get enough, I just keep pouring some out until I have enough to cover my entire face. This is usually pretty fast makeup for me. It's my daily makeup, so it usually takes me just a couple minutes. Takes a little bit longer because I am explaining what I'm doing to you. Then I go in with my Tried and True. This is my daily foundation, so I know a lot of people wear liquid foundations. I'm just not one of them on the regular. If I am wearing liquid makeup, I will specify in my photos so you know that. This is the Bare Minerals Blemish Therapy in Clearly Silk 5. I take the brush that is meant for that, which is this seamless brushing brush. And this is kind of cool because it has the sifter, so you actually shove the brush in there and kind of work it through. And then I put it on like so. I just keep buffing it until I get my desired coverage. This is not meant to be full coverage foundation by any means. It does have salicylic acid and tea tree oil, so it does help with acneic skin. That's why I like it, and I use this opposed to the other Bare Minerals foundations. Usually do a couple coats of this because it is a little bit lighter in consistency. I do go right up under the eye, making sure that everything looks blended. As you can see, it does help cover some of this discoloration. I always pack an extra amount where I think I need it. Some days my face is clearer than others, so. Okay, once I have a good amount of the foundation on, I go back to my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil with SPF and go over the top of this again. I like to have as much sun protection as I can. It says SPF 25. I do wear a separate 50 as well. And you just keep blending. It's all about the blend. Occasionally you get little fluffies in your eye. Make sure you just clean them out so your eye doesn't water on you. Okay. And that is the foundation portion of this video. Mine are powder foundation, so it is pretty quick. It is gonna be still looking like skin, so you can see my skin through it. So I do a few extra steps as well to give me that desired look that I'm after. So I look a little flat right now, and then I go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light brush. It's this double-ended brush. I use the round part first in my Kat Von D Shade and Light, and I go between the lighter shade and the yellow shade, and I go directly under my eye. These are highlighting matte shades, so it's actually brightening up my under eye. I like to look like I'm awake without wearing tons of product or concealer under my eye, because that can weigh down your eye and make your eye look tired and heavy. So just that right there gave me quite a bit of brightness. I do like to pack it under the eye and then melt and work it out through the sockets. I do the top of the eye as well. Then I go back in here and I mix the two contour shades, the one that's more cool tone and the one that is more warm tone, and I use the angle side of the brush. So I start with the cool tone shade, working into my brush. And I turn my face to the side and I look in the mirror, and I always start at the top of the ear to the hollow of the cheek. And try to concentrate that color right here. And build and work it up. And then I go up through the forehead and then down through the jaw. And I do the same thing to the other side. As you can see, my contour kit, or my highlighter contour kit from Kat Von D, gets quite a bit of use. I use this every day, and I'm always hitting pan. So I appreciate that Kat Von D made refills for this particular palette. Makes my life a lot easier, and I always have it on hand. And then I just keep working it through, and then I go underneath with the highlighter shade, just whatever was left on my brush, and kind of clean up my jawline and make sure it looks nice and crisp. All right, now moving on. I like to use this particular palette. This is a palette from Buxom. This was limited edition, so they don't have it anymore. But I know they do sell this bronzer separately, so I do like to warm up my face with bronzer, and then I go in with this highlighter shade. And I will be using this blush shade today. Normally I use the Balms blush, or I use Tarte's blush But we are going to use this just for the sake of this video because it is all right here. It makes it a little bit easier for me. So I start with the highlighter shade again on the rounded brush. I go right up under the eye and swirl. Under, out, I go all the way to the hairline and then around the eye. Then I dip back into the product and I do it again to the other eye. And kind of work this through my face, just making sure that I look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready for my day. I really focus under the eye. That's the most important part, to look awake. Then I go in with the angled brush one more time into the bronzer. I go along the same area I was doing before, but just kind of warm up the outer edges. This way, I look ready for the day. I always take a little bit down the neck, especially in summertime. I tend to get the rest of my body very tan and then my face never sees the sun. So I do have to use bronzers in the summertime to make sure my face looks warmed up. In the wintertime, I can usually just get away with the contour and highlighting palette. All right, so once those are on, I move to a different brush. I prefer the rounded blush brush by MAC. I don't have a number on this. This guy is a little bit old and I lost the number off the side of the brush. I do the same thing here. Again, I pull my hair back. I do like to start right here on the tops of my cheeks and work my blush all the way back. By doing this, it just gives the appearance of my cheekbones being lifted. I think everyone can agree that that looks pretty nice. You don't have to use as much blush as me. I tend to go a little bit heavy-handed on the blush. That's just how I like it. And then the same thing to the other side. We will be adding another separate highlighter to this. It just kind of melts everything together when you're going to do a highlighter, contour, blush. You do kind of have to do it in a certain order and blend it to make it look nice. Otherwise, you just look like you just put a bunch of product on the face. I do really melt my blush and my contour together. It just gives a more seamless look to the face. All right, moving on from that, I'm going to go with my favorite highlighter color at the moment, which is the Highlight Blossoms palette from Lime Crime. The color is called Sunset. It's here up at the top. As you can see, I've definitely dug into this pan a little bit. I love it. I will be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush for my highlighter. If you haven't checked this brush out, you guys are missing out. It is the best highlighter brush I've ever used. When I do highlight, I start right above the blush and I work it all the way out. And I go down a little bit, not too much farther past the blush. I do like to run it across the eyelids as well. That's like an unnecessary step if you don't want to do that, but I feel like it gives me a more awake look. Adds a little bit color to my face when I don't feel like doing eyeshadow as well. And I just keep blending and buffing that. I will go back in with my blush brush and make sure that there's not a big giant line across my face. Gives it seamless appearance. And then I move on to the other side. As you can see, this is a super pigmented highlighter, so I need very little. I do like to do this in a circle on the face. You could even add a makeup setting spray to your brush to give you more of that wet look, if that's what you guys like. I don't know if you can see it, but it is stunning. I will go down my nose just a bit. My Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to do just a little bit more because you can never have too much highlighter. And one of my last steps before I put on mascara and a lip color is I take my Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. It's the eyebrow brush and then the spoolie, and I just comb through my brows. I like to keep my brows really natural. I don't always put color in them as I don't really need it. I have quite a bit of hair, so I just kind of comb through, make sure there's no powder stuck in my eyebrows, taking away from the color of my hair. And then I would just add mascara and lip color, and that is my daily makeup. All right, thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned on the next video. I will do eye makeup, a special requested look. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.